Hi folks, thank you for joining me once again. We're on the SEGA Genesis or Mega Drive, depending on where you are in the world. It's beat 'em up time. We're going to be reviewing Double Dragon, published by Accolade in 1992, and of course based on the arcade coin-up. It's a game I've already reviewed on the Commodore Amiga and the ZX Spectrum, and they weren't great conversions on either of those two, so it'll be interesting to see how this one plays. I'll put it on normal mode, but I will give myself extra credits and extra lives. Kick, punch, jump is a sort of like controls. Now the storyline behind this, which is quite irrelevant, is if you're in two-player, there's Billy and Jimmy Lee. Mr. Big has kidnapped their girlfriend. Yes, they share a girlfriend. There she is being kidnapped. And we must go over a number of stages, beating up everyone to rescue her. So here we go. Yes, controls a little bit awkward for me, so it's going to take me a while to get used to it. I'm not overly familiar with the SEGA Mega Drive on Genesis, and this has been reconfigured to play on a joystick. So we'll just see how this one plays, what the music is like. It's already better than the Amiga version and the Spectrum version as well, but that's pretty much what I expected. Music is okay. The time's ticking down in the middle, so if that goes to 0 you've had it, so you can't hang around. These beat-em-up games are always a lot easier in two-player mode, because what tends to happen in single-player mode is all the thugs surround you and beat you up from all angles, which isn't great. Right, come on. So I'm controlling Billy Lee. I'm sure that's a take on the name Bruce Lee. So when you've got to compare this against other fighters, the only ones I've sort of played on like the PlayStation 3 Mega Drive collection is Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage seems a lot better than this straight away, but in terms of arcade conversions go, it isn't too bad. How can I beat up these two guys? It's moving a bit quick, these fellas. I'm not. Would I say I'm enjoying it? I'm not quite sure yet. I'm still getting used to how the thing works. Music is a little bit squealy. Let's have a go. But Double Dragon is seen as a classic. The arcade game was brilliant. Is this as good as the arcade game? Well, not really, but it is sort of like doing Double Dragon, better than a lot of the other home computers and consoles did. We'll just do a few stages. As usual, this won't be a walkthrough all the way through. It'll mean my terrible gameplay, just to see what it'll be like on your first or second go, and would you go back to it and play it again. I think I would go back and play it again, but I don't think it's the best fighter out there. If you've got a favourite fighter, then let me know. It's quite a lot to come to on the SEGA Mega Drive. Most notably the Street Fighter games and others as well. Temporarily my mind went blank. Something of Fury, and I think Double Dragon had a couple of sequels on the system as well, so of course we'll look at those. But always a lot more fun in two-player mode. My favourite 2D scroller, which isn't a beat 'em up as such, it's more like a hack and slash, is the Golden Axe game, so hopefully we'll come to those as well. There's a Volkswagen Beetle that I was expecting to see. What's good on this, you can collect objects. Oh, I've died. You can collect objects like a baseball bat, knives, whips and all that sort of stuff. And there's end of level bosses as well, and the tool guys tend to be quite hard to beat. From memory, there was a move where you could do, if hopefully I can perfect it, a jumping kick, which seems to be much better in the game for killing absolutely everyone. And once you perfected that, you could pretty much go through the whole game. On one player, admittedly, it is a little bit infuriating. Maybe I can just lure one at a time up here. Yeah, see, look, I'm luring them left and right here. Come on, I need one person to come up. There we go. So I can take them on one at a time here. Good. So, I don't know what the story is between Billy and Jimmy, why they share a girlfriend. But, yes. Here we go. Now, I don't know why they've kidnapped the girlfriend anyway. Mr. Big, he's just all-round evil, isn't he? Right, baseball bat, clobber. Very, very tricky this game on one player. I might have mentioned it. Music is getting a little bit repetitive already. I'm really looking forward to coming to the Streets of Rage games, because I think they'll be quite a lot better than this. Did Shadow Warriors come out on the SEGA Genesis Mega Drive? Let me know about that as well. What's your favourite scroller beat 'em up? This is the first one we sort of like covered on the machine. That's a nice entry, I think. Double Dragon will be a lot of people's favourites ones. But it's okay. There's a few minor flaws with the thing. Playability on one player, music is a bit repetitive, but apart from that, arcade conversion, it's quite competent. Best one I've played, really. I mean, I like Double Dragon 3. I think I played that on the Amiga. That was quite good. I think this could have been quite a bit better, though, on the system, so it's a little bit disappointing in that regard. But moves fast. Good stuff. Clobber! Get out the way, you... Oh, dear, I'm being hit for 6. Now, I have put this on... Although it is on normal mode, I have put the amount of credits up as high, just in case I got lost on my life straight away. And you see the blue bar there down the bottom, which I've got 2 left. Normally it's on 3 rather than about 5, which I've got it on. So in that regard, it is a bit easier than usual. But gameplay review purposes only. Now, when you're watching this, there'll probably be some people that are experts on this game that played it a lot as a kid. Your gameplay as a kid tends to be brilliant compared to what it is as an adult. You get to a certain age, for some reason, you turn into dad's play and go a bit rubbish. But anyway, did you complete this game back in the day, either on 1 player or 2 player? Let me know about that. What happens directly at the end? Do you get a great game over sequence where you see Mr. Big destroyed, or does it go back to level 1 again? Batter up, boof. Right, okay. So I really got used to get used to that move where it's jump and kick, and that's a combination of a couple of buttons, so I need to practice on that. Those barrels you can pick up and throw at people, which is quite helpful. Level 1 done, hooray! Right, here we are. I was used on the Spectrum having lots of loading and stuff to do. Spectrum version is really poor, but this is a lot better than that. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, that's stupid. Here we go. We got synchronised wire climbing. That was a bit silly. Push 2P. It says. Come on, second player. I need you. So I suppose you could cheat with a controller in port 2. As soon as you're about to die, flick over to player 2. I used to do that with Golden Axe a lot back in the day on the Commodore Amiga. Golden Axe is brilliant on any system I played it on. Although Spectrum, it did struggle a little bit. 128k was needed. Hopefully that gets redone on the Spectrum. Next, one can but hope. Right, move forward with super energy. Double Dragon. There was never a triple dragon, was there? Double being because there's 2 brothers. Their girlfriend kept getting kidnapped. In the second one and the third one they did. Can we pick that box up? We can do. So we could have thrown that at someone. Don't fall down holes because you will lose a whole life. So at the front there, be careful of that. Yeah, that's exactly what I told you not to do, I did. So there we go. Don't do that. We need to jump up here. So the enemy, it's not that buried at the moment. You will recognise them. There's the guys we beat up from earlier on. They're back again. There's a cloning factory somewhere. Well, that's like all fighting games of this era completely, so we won't mark it down for that. Double Dragon, was it ever turned into a film? I don't think so. It might have been turned into a restaurant. I can imagine there being a Double Dragon restaurant. Yeah, I'll order the prawn balls and the baseball bat, please. Coming right up, sir. Music is okay. I think I was a bit cruel. Oh no, I've done that twice now. I was trying to trick them to fall down the hole. You need to get the right distance when you've got the baseball bat and the whip and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I'm finding this tough going. It's a bit of a frustrating game, really. You get surrounded too quickly by these guys. They should come at you nice and slow. Don't they know the bad guy rules for beating up a single person? Going up and down the ladders is a nice touch. So, to be honest with you, this is probably the closest you can get without using main to the original Double Dragon game, I think. There's a few bits missing. The music could be a bit beefier, but apart from that, it's a competent conversion without being a classic or a stunning game that you'd want to keep going back to. But if you owned it as a kid, you would not have been disappointed with it. It ticks a lot of the boxes. It's okay without being brilliant. I'd say that about it. Let me know what you think. Did you have this one back in the day? Is the sequel better than this, or is it more or less the same? I'll come to it at some point, I am sure. First beaten up we've covered so far on the SEGA Genesis or Mega Drive, so it's good to finally get started in that direction. There's a conveyor belt back there. I think this is the end of level bosses now. We can hit them on the conveyor belt, we're looking good, but staying up here on the high ground, as Ben Kenobi always used to say, or Obi-Wan, that's probably good. We've got the high ground. Oh, we haven't now. So he keeps doing that kick which we need to perfect. There you go, get down. Oh man, it'd be good to try and knock one of these people onto the conveyor belt of doom. Oh, so now we're on it. Oh dear, we lost a life, but we got rid of him. She seems to be in a very vulnerable position. Let's try and knock her onto the conveyor belt of doom. She's on the conveyor belt of doom. Ah! She says. Who's this fella? Oh my god, now some top wrestlers turned up as well. Why is it always two at the same time? I need that bullwhip thing. Oh, just die, fella. That's no good. This guy in the green trousers, this green jumpsuit, he's moving too quick for me. But luckily I've got 5 lives left. Oh, this is no good. Yes. No, they didn't go down with me. I might have to go up that ladder and trick just one at a time. I can't fight 2 at the same time. Just one kick to get him on the conveyor belt thing, and that would be great. Come on. Oh, man. Right, this isn't working. I'm getting my butt kicked here. Up here. One at a time, please. Right, one at a time. Take him. The other guy stays down there. That'll be useful. Stay down there, whoever you are. Some 80s fellow in his 80s green jumpsuit. Right, music's gone. Oh, they're both up here now. Come on, let's get a bit lucky. Just punch and walk into him. Oh, that's the first time I've hit that fella down there. Perhaps he's worse the higher he goes. Right, doing a lot better up here. Just one guy left. Surely we can do this. No smart bombs or anything like that I'm aware of, like in Golden Axe or other similar games, fantasy games. This is all brute power, brute force, kick, punch, jump. Come on. How many hits is this guy going to take? We've only got 50 seconds left. Mind you, it looks like the time's frozen actually. Oh no, it's gone to 49 now. So it's not actually seconds. I don't know what it is. Some unit of time we don't know about. That's it, he's gone. Good. Is that it? Level 2 done. Yay! So we'll have, what's the time? I think we'll have a go at level 3 and then we'll probably call it a day here because we've seen pretty much all the gameplay. At this point, it's just seeing the different end of level bosses, but we've seen these 2 guys before, haven't we? We've already beat them up a few times. So the it's not varying a great deal so far. Music seems a little bit different, unless it's my imagination pulling tricks on me. Lovely colour palette on this. I'm not sure quite how many colours the SEGA Genesis Mega Drive thing had, but quite a few. More than the Spectrum and the Amiga, I believe. But it was a more powerful console, so it should have been. It should have been. This is by Accolade in 1992. So it was up against the Amiga, I suppose. It was, wasn't it? So for 1992, it's not a bad game. From memory, I can't quite recall when Streets of Rage come out. Maybe was that a similar time, or was that a bit later? But the character's a bit bigger. It wasn't so horizontal. You could go up and down and bits, and it changed. That was great, especially Streets of Rage 2. Oh my word! Right, come on, Jimmy Lee or Billy Lee. This is Billy Lee. Player 2's Jimmy Lee. Right, yeah. See, that's the move I've been trying to get. There we go. Right, I finally worked out how to do it. The right combination. Jump kick. Oh, that didn't work that time. Just die, sir. Do the decent thing and die. Could pick up that barrel I wanted, but I've died. That's no good. There we go. Your barrel, sir. That's it. Right, we'll take this with us. We can throw this at someone, surely. We'll throw it at him. Hey, get that again. Oh, too close that time. Now it's gone off the screen. No, he's got it back again. Oh, picking up that barrel sometimes puts you in a very vulnerable position. If you get punched in the belly with picking up an oil can, don't try it at home, folks. It's not a good finish. Oops, that woman's turned up with her whip again. Oh man, let me have that whip. I want to go. There we go. There we go. My go. Yay! Much more fun. Bing, bing, bing. That's like a Mickey Mouse glove which turns up. I'm starting to get, I have to admit, good though this game is, middling, I'm starting to get a little bit bored with it now. Maybe you need that human second player and have a stupid conversation with yourself as you go through. It's not varying at all. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Wanted, that's us two, I presume. Jimmy and Billy Lee, 10,000. They look very similar, but neither of those have got a big perm, so maybe that isn't him. We're in the woods now. We're in the woods, but we're all at sea. Same guy again with his tight red jeans on and white shirt, and he's dead. Tree stumps. And I'm stumped. Look, it's them again. Oh man. How many of these guys do we have to kill in this game? I think Billy Lee would have been best buying a flamethrower from the flamethrower shops. They're quite easy to get in the US, aren't they? You just go in there. You don't need a license to say, I just want to buy a flamethrower, please. And then all these guys would be hot stuff. We could get rid of all of these fellows. Oh, I've thrown that knife the wrong way. That'll do. Right. Try and work out the right distance for that. Oh, man. That's it. Good. Right. What was the distance? Oh, he's dead anyway. Good. But I'm sure he'll turn up again. He's clone. Don't fall. Oh, man. He fell down the hole again. I keep telling you not to do that. We're all right for time so far. This big bloke's going to take a bit of beating. Time for our special move, I think, if we can perfect it. Yes. Boom. Oh. Come on. Up, jump. Yes, there we go. So if we can keep doing that, we're through. Yeah. So that's the flaw of this game. Once you've learnt that move, you can complete it quite easily. Because they've got no defence against a flying kick. Yeah. You don't even have to get the right distance correct. There we go. Yeah. If I was starting this game again, I think I'd complete it doing this move. But you don't want to watch an hour of me doing this all the time. It's only because we've got a certain distance. So we'll just try and get to the end of this level. And once we have done, we'll call that a day. We've seen the gameplay. We've seen the sound. Did you get much further than this as a kid, or even in modern day time? Let me know. Or is this... Oh, man, that's just about the time we got. I like that splash. That was good. There's a bit in Golden Axe we need to jump over a bit like that as well, in a bridge, but then you fall down. Right, special move again, please. Don't let him knock you into the sea, or the river, or whatever it is. Don't know what this guy's name is. Bernard, perhaps. Or Low Ray from Street Fighter 2 games. Yeah, so before I loaded this up, I didn't know Accolade did any beat-em-up games. I just know them for driving games like Test Drive and Test Drive 2. Test Drive 2 we have actually reviewed on this system, so take a look at that. That's quite good if you're familiar with the Amiga version. If you're not familiar with the Amiga version, you might think it's a little bit slow, but it's one of those ones where you've got a choice of a number of cars, 3, and you drive along different stages, and it's like cockpit view as well, and it's quite good. Take that, yo. Oh man, right. We've got, oh, this is our last life, we've got 2 squares left, so we're quite near the end of our natural life anyway. Oh, I was hoping to knock him into the sea then, that river thing. It's looking very Golden Axe-y now, the graphics, or Golden Axe 3 maybe. Characters are quite big, but not as big as they are in Streets of Rage. Moves are quite limited, but so was the arcade, so just punch, kick, throw, flying kick once you get used to that. Oh, I've only got 1 square left, time is 19 seconds, is that? I don't think we'll be going much longer. Should I put a second controller in for player 2? No. Oh, this fella again. Time is on 17. Dangerous running out of time here. You can't proceed until you've killed everyone on the screen. I don't think. 15. Come on, Billy. Smack his head in. Take that. Kapow. Right, okay, 13. I don't think we're going to do... Oh, another one. We're not going to do this now, are we? Don't throw knives at me. It's dangerous. There you go. What goes around comes around, sir. That's karma. Eat fist. Right. 9. The time says 9. I need some bonus time. We don't want anyone else. Mind you, we've probably got an end-level boss to get as well, have we? Hopefully it gives us extra bonus time. I know no cheats for this game. Oh, no. I wanted an end-level boss rather than this twit. So where have I lost the time then? Just dawdling around. Maybe I should get the screen to scroll and have a few people at the same time. But credits are 4. So it'd be quite an easy game to complete, I think, if you used all your credits. Which we won't be doing at this point because it isn't a walkthrough. Sometimes I get carried away and play the game for a lot longer than I intended to. Gameplay review, first go, that sort of stuff. Alright, see, time over, so we ran out of time there. I think we will leave it there. Hope you liked having a look at that one. It wasn't a bad game, but weren't as good as some of the others on offer. So okay, I think. Hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Double Dragon on the SEGA Genesis or SEGA Mega Drive, published by Accolade in 1992 and based on the popular arcade cabinet. Got any thoughts or memories about that game? Then please put them below. You're always more than welcome. A huge thank you to everyone that's subscribed to the channel so far and left positive comments. That really gives me energy to keep going and helps the channel go forward. If you want to help a bit more, there's patreon.com/njenkin. Every bit really does help and also bolster the channel a great deal. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.